So I just wanted to come on and just explain a little bit more about the motivation for the video, because that was a question that people had. So I had no other motivation other than that kids watch these videos, and I think we need to be a little bit more careful with what we say so that kids don't get the wrong impression. Welcome to EDI Sportscards. We are back with another video about the PPP just total meltdown on YouTube. I really don't understand what has happened. I read all the comments. I actually was shocked at how many people watched this video. I want to give a shout out to Because I'm Carlos. Thank you so much for your review of my video, and I appreciate that you both like the personality that I bring to YouTube and to this video, as well as how I covered the controversy over Geoff Wilson and 352 and Sports Card Investor and the whole thing, and how it kind of built up into something else. So for anybody that's watching this video, if you have not gone over to Because I'm Carlos, I'm going to put that link in the description below, because I really think that you should watch that video. I think he made some excellent points. And so I think that's part of what YouTube should be, is a community of people who actually think for themselves and to weigh options. Like, so if you're following a Sports Card Investor for, again, card buying advice, I'm telling you, you should pretty much reconsider that. I have been a collector for 40 years. If somebody comes new onto the scene, I watch the videos. I never thought I would ever put out a video against him. I didn't feel like I did put a video out against him. I feel like I kind of defended him because I explained that he couldn't do what he was accused of doing. But Geoff seemed to just handle the situation the wrong way. And then I had people make comments, well, why'd you put your own other business in? Well, first of all, this is not a business. I need everybody to understand that sports cards, EDI Sportscards, so I don't make any money from these videos. The only reason I'm even posting anything is because I just felt that I needed to say something on the subject. I do have experience in business. I have been very successful in business. So I know I did not, the businesses that I ran did not need PPP loans. But I understand that he needed it, and I have no problem with that fact that he needed it. I don't have any issue with Geoff as a person. I don't think he knows as much as he puts out, and that's something that he has to deal with. But if people wanted to understand, the main reason why I put out the video that I did was because, unfortunately, Geoff doesn't seem, or he does seem to know, that most of YouTube's viewership are kids, and his videos are watched by thousands of children. And so I have a real strong opinion and a problem with the fact that Geoff Wilson puts himself as an expert, not to us adults, because we know he knows very little about what he's talking about. But kids don't know that. So I have 40 years of experience, but what's a teenager supposed to do? He comes out with very high quality videos. And again, he is very good at the production side. He is an excellent broadcaster. I don't know if he did broadcasting at Florida, because he knows the fundamentals of broadcasting. He knows how to inflect his voice. He knows how to speak. He knows how to control the pace. For those of you that don't know me, because again, I'm a very small creator, I actually started my career in both broadcast and in journalism. I was a sports play-by-play announcer for the Boston Blazers lacrosse. I also wrote for newspapers in New Jersey. I wrote for the Star Ledger. I covered local sports. And then I also was a news and political reporter for the WRKL radio in New York. So I started in broadcast and in journalism. That's not the point of what I'm trying to do with this video, but it just it bothered me that kids are watching his stuff thinking I should follow his advice. So for anybody that's watching this channel, I just want you to know that I'm just going to talk about buying, selling, and collecting. There's no such thing as investing, buying, selling, and collecting. So the minute you hold on to something, you are a collector. If you don't like that word, then you're a hoarder. Okay, so you use either one. You're either a collector or you're a hoarder. If you have more than, let's say, 10,000 cards, you're a hoarder. I had a storage unit of baseball cards. I had over 6 million cards. I honestly lost track. I don't know how many there were, but I had to sell them because it just was too much. You can't collect at that level. I'm trying to get down to under 1,000 cards for my collection. At least at this point, I would like to get it to about 300 cards of just curated stuff that I can enjoy. I can pull it out and just be like, and I can talk to my friends, dealers that I know, and just the conversations around cards are the most important thing, at least at this point in my life. He has inserted himself. He wants to be a celebrity. That's fine. Well, if you're a celebrity, you're going to get questions. And so you have to learn how to handle the media. Now, with the type of production quality that he does, he doesn't seem to know how to handle the media. So I just wanted to come on and just explain a little bit more about the motivation for the video, because that was a question that people had. So I had no other motivation other than that kids watch these videos, and I think we need to be a little bit more careful with what we say so that kids don't get the wrong impression. This is a great hobby. Like I said, I've been doing this for 40 years. I want more kids to get into the hobby because then they can do it for 40 years. And hopefully they do it with their kids when they get older. If you're a parent right now, get your kid into the hobby. But you got to do it smart. You can't just go out and just spend thousands and thousands of dollars on cards. That's not teaching them anything. I think that if you really want your kids to get involved in the hobby and learn something, to be honest, Gary Vee's playlist, which is all about garage hunting, where you go to flea markets and you go to garage sales and you just buy something and then sell it on eBay. I think that's a great learning lesson. Now, again, I don't teach anymore in the system. That's what I used to do. I was a teacher, I was a principal, I was a superintendent, I was a school business administrator. Like I said, I've also run companies. So I have a lot of experience outside of the hobby that I apply to the hobby. But it's for fun. And hopefully everybody watching this, it's for fun. So I do want to thank everybody that's subscribed. I woke up to all of this. I posted it in the morning, and by the evening I went to just go check the analytics, and I was blown away. Obviously, the most amount of views I've gotten on any video on this channel. So I appreciate, in all the comments that I saw, everybody was very respectful. I loved all the comments, in fact. Even the people that disagreed with me, they were disagreeing in a very respectful way, which is what the hobby is. We can disagree with each other. We just don't have to attack each other. If you want to question things that people do, question them. You have every right to express yourself. As long as you express yourself politely and respectfully, I have no problem with it. In fact, I'm glad that you're a subscriber, and ask more questions because I will make more content and answer those questions. I like the question answer thing. Again, as an educator, that's kind of what I'm used to. It's like you give information and then the students ask questions, and that's what your job is to answer questions. So I appreciate all of the feedback, all of the comments. If there's more things that you want to know, like I said, I have 40 years in this hobby. I started as a dealer in the 80s when I was a teenager. So that's the other thing that I want everybody to understand, is that I started as a teenager. So teenagers that are watching now, I want them to be able to know what they can do. Now, I made way more money than I ever thought I could ever make back then. Everything else that you need to understand is that, can you make money in sports cards? Absolutely. But you have to sell. That's what we need to get kids to understand. It's not about holding, it's about collecting and selling. You're buying to do two things. You're either buying to collect or you're buying to sell. I know there was a lot of problems with people saying, well, they're just people just coming in to flip. That's the business. It's buying and selling. And then you collect what you like. Hopefully you sold enough that what you collected was either free or you made a profit. That's where I'm at. I want to be able to sell what I still have that I don't want and be able to, with that money, basically pour it into my collection. So there's 2 Mickey Mantle cards that I still need, I guess, for my collection, because that's what I'm trying to do. So the 53 Topps Mantle and the 56 Topps Mantle. That's it. Now, I don't have the 52. I will never have the rookie card, but I have all the other ones that I want. And so that's it. Those are the 2 that I have targeted as my chase cards. Now, if you really want to know more about how to make money in sports cards, I'm going to put a link to the other video of how to make money in sports cards. That's the thumbnail. Again, ask more questions, whatever you want to know. But that's why I'm on YouTube. I just want to make this for fun. This is it. It's just for fun, help out people. And again, I appreciate the YouTube community. I think it was awesome. I didn't expect to get that kind of response, but the response was just overwhelmingly respectful, which I love. I love the counter arguments. It's great. That's what this is all about. Give your opinion. Whatever it is that you think that Geoff is a goat, that's great. Or you think he's the other kind of goat, where it's like he's a sacrificial lamb. That's fine. Whatever you think is valid. And I certainly want to hear from you. So again, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to sign off right now.